With Brant's release, people are seriously enjoying our Fusion Pirate. His gameplay is one of the most unique in the game, and because of his unique gameplay, Brant has some unknown tricks up his sleeve, and I'll be exploring all of those options and sharing them with you today. My name is Void Enigma, and without further ado, let's dive right into it. Literally. The absolute coolest thing that I learned about Brant is that his enhanced resonance skill, Return from Ashes, actually has a lingering hitbox. I noticed that I was clearing wave after wave of monsters, so I took to doing some testing. Firstly, if he uses the Return from Ashes, he has a split millisecond to adjust his position and hit other enemies in the carnage. That also includes if enemies fly in when you land your Return from Ashes. I miss the target and I get 2 dashes forward and these monsters get hit. Amazing stuff, right? This is impractical though to use it in this way, and it's nice when it actually happens, but you should be hitting your targets already off rip. But what if you're facing multiple waves of content instead? When you're facing these multi-wave stages, it's actually way more beneficial. If Brant's initial hit finishes off the wave, then the following wave can come in and get the impact of the skill. And not only that, I was able to get this skill to damage and annihilate the enemies through 3 stages. Really impressive stuff. I'm not really sure why the knight here didn't get hit as well, but nonetheless, he did annihilate 3 full stages of monsters with his skill. So that means that you actually don't have to hold his Return from Ashes when the enemy is almost dead. You could just fire it off and the next wave coming in will actually get hit. This is definitely not a bug and should remain a part of his kit because characters like Jianxin and Havoc Rover already have this as part of their liberation as well. Brant suffers from having all of his damage in one part of his kit, so this lingering hitbox is a great way to help him across all platforms, especially stuff like Wuthering Waves. After all, Wuthering Waves is a stage about ships. Brant can't be considered horrible in these stages where he's supposed to be thriving, right? With this useful tactic, you can chain together his enhanced skill to clear out wave after wave of enemies, and in combination with Quick Swap, your other characters can help too. You should be timing your attacks to destroy at least 2 waves at a time with Brant, and this will make Brant seem like he's having much more impact in these stages. It's going to take some practice to know how to actually utilize this tech properly, but leaving it to chance is also a definite option. The lingering hitbox is honestly just great, and if you can master it, then all the best for making Brant the best that he can be. Another lingering effect is that you can like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're on a journey to hit 10k subs, so I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Next up is the double and triple basic attack 4 tech. Kudos to Lament's Legacy. Go check out his guide on this cool tech in the description because this legend has figured it out. So, when you use Brant, you can actually dodge cancel his basic attack 4 with a dodge, use it again, and then use the echo skill to cancel it and use it one more time, allowing you to successfully use basic attack 4 3 times. It is impractical in most cases and is easier done on bigger bosses. The reason for this is because you basically have to trigger the dodge or the echo cast before Brant hits the floor, and it's almost impossible to do when the enemy is so low. But if you actually dive onto the larger bosses and you hit them early, you can dodge, attack, and then you can actually cast the echo and do it again. Getting 3 in a row is more difficult than it seems though. So it's really hard to do on smaller enemies, but it's much easier to do on bigger bosses, so really only try this tech in combat against the really big boys. Go check out Lament's Legacy as he goes in depth on how to perform this trick, and it's really cool when you achieve it. You know how you're on the verge of death after fighting the same hologram 3,000 times, and Brant is just not looking too good? Well, worry not. You can actually just sit on Brant for say 3 days, and he will heal himself to max. He literally heals 56 HP without having to do anything. If that's not power creep animation, then I don't know what is. Honestly, Kuro really messed up making this in the game because it just cheats the whole fact of healing. Like, come on. He eats only 1 orange because he's modest, but hey, you can't have a greedy captain, right? If you want to force this animation, you can actually go to the camera and actually activate the setting there. Keep in mind though that if you do use the camera to activate it, your friends won't actually see you activate in a co-op, but you will still be healing. One of the best techs that you can know with Brant is how to dodge chase. Have you ever jumped towards the enemy and hit them with a basic attack and miss and then just plop to the floor? Well, dodge chase is here, my friend. You can dodge in midair and Brant will swing again and try to hit the enemy. Pretty neat trick to not lose a lot of DPS because you can actually just chase the enemy this way and latch on and continue your combo. You can also infinitely chain this in air, as long as you have the stamina to do so, when using a character like Chun-Li. In the older areas where you actually can't fly, this might be a good tactic to cover some ground. He can also just use this by himself to get some insane heights by using the Echo skill as well. There are a ton of Echoes that actually help with flight as well, so I'll let you Echo jump speedrunners have it. Now we gotta talk about Brant's white pants. You know that old sailor joke about the pirate or sailor or whatever who changed his pants to yellow when the crew was in danger so that the crew doesn't notice that the captain had, well, an accident? And then he finally changes his pants to brown when he knows that the screw is absolutely fucked. Well, Brant ain't never gotta worry about that because this guy's got white pants all day. You can rest easy knowing that he hasn't wet or pooped himself out of fear. Fearless Brant, let's go! Subject to change if he ever gets a skin. Let's hope it's not brown or yellow. Something black would be nice though. This next one isn't really a tech, but more so just some general knowledge, because unlike Genshin, who has a universal shield that is shared amongst the party, Brant's shield is actually given to each party member separately, and that makes it all the better. Brant essentially gives each of your teammates a giant shield worth somewhere between 7 to 9k health, so it's actually better than healing, because what this is healing before you need healing. It's 7 to 9k health that you don't have to worry about actually healing back. It's automatically added to your health bar. And if Brant maybe gets destroyed by the enemy, then you know that your Chun-Li and Shorekeeper will keep their shield for the entire duration. Just remember that if one character gets their shield completely wiped. Another cool thing, if you dodge too early in air and are scared of getting hit, remember that you get a ton of vertical mobility from the Dragon Dirge, whatever. You may still get hit, but at least you won't get hit out of the air, and is a really good tactic to keep the pressure on the enemy, as sometimes you'll just straight up avoid damage. You can also idle in air when the boss seems to be like charging their attack or something like that, and as long as you haven't touched the floor, then you can continue the air combo. If you're really scared, then you can actually just glide. Don't rely on gliding though. Perfect dodging is always the way to go. Lastly, Wuwa has a lock-on mechanic. Remember that? You can sometimes be miles above the target, and all you want to do is just look down instead so that you can see the boss. So lock in, buckos, and get that booty, because Brant the pirate won't pass up on that offer. Which of these techs did you already know about, and which ones are you most excited to try? Go ahead and leave a like and discuss your favorites below. Also, subscribe if you enjoyed the video and leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, as we are nearing 10k subs, and it's all thanks to you that we got this far. This has been Void Enigma, and until next time, Enigma out.